Now, transfer of authority from one person to another person, that is called delegation. Now, a person who is responsible, he cannot delegate his responsibility to somebody else. What are the three elements of delegation? Authority, responsibility, and the last one is called accountability. Last one we are supposed to understand is accountability. What is this accountability? Please understand this. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Abhilash Chandra from the Department of Commerce and Management in Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. Welcome to all the students here. Now here we are in the next session where we'll understand what is delegation of authority. Students, delegation. Now transfer of authority from one person to another person, that is called delegation. Now why this transfer happens? You are supposed to know this. The transfer happens for various reasons, but here you need to understand the relationship between supervisor and the people who are there in the top level, middle level as well as the supervisory level, where delegation happens whenever they feel like going with. Now delegation is what? Superior and subordinate relationship will be given in the delegation, that is the superior will hand over the authority and responsibility to the subordinate. Now I'll be explaining you more about this delegation of authority, and here in this session we're going to learn about the differences between accountability, authority, and one more is responsibility. Firstly, delegation of authority means a division of authority. What is that called as? It is called as division of authority and powers downwards to the subordinate. Now that means what? Please understand when we go with it. Here we have the levels here. Now if we go with A and B here, supposingly the person who is in the top level, that is A, if he goes to some of his other branches and he should look after the branches for say 15 to 20 days. Now what happens is the A will actually give delegation of authority to B, and in the absence of A, now A is here right now in some other branch. Now in the absence of A, B will come to A position and he'll get the work done. Now that is what the delegation of authority is. That means division of work. Now A has given him the division of work, that is the division of authority, and power downwards to the subordinate. That is, this is the downward to the subordinate. Delegation is about entrusting. What is it? Entrusting someone else to do part of your job. Now A has gone to some other branch, right? There is a branch and he has gone there. Now whatever A was supposed to do it, now who's doing it? It is B who is there, who is doing those work. Now that is called delegation, is about entrusting someone else to do part of your job. That is A's job. Who should do it? B should do it. Next is delegation of authority can be defined as, it can be defined as subdivision and sub-allocation of powers. That is what exactly they go with is, they go with authority and responsibility. Authority and responsibility. Responsibility. So hope you people are able to understand this. That is, delegation of authority can be defined as subdivision and sub-allocation of powers to the subordinate in order to achieve effective results. Now A, the minute he gives delegation, the thing is A should give authority as well as the responsibility to B so that they can go with it. So this is what delegation of authority is. Now I'll be explaining you about the elements of delegation. There are three elements of delegation here. What are the three elements of delegation? Authority, responsibility, and the last one is called accountability. I'll repeat. The first one is authority, second is you have responsibility, and the third one is accountability. So these are the elements of delegation. When we go with authority here, students, I'll draw the same kind of example here. Let's go with the same, where you have the tiers, that is the levels of management. Say now we have A, we have B, and we have C. And here what happens is A goes to some other branch, say a branch where it is in Dubai or USA or any kind of a thing. Let's go for a example like this. Now A have traveled for 15 days. How many days? 15 days. He will not come to India. Now he has given delegation of authority or the delegation to B. The minute A leaves to Dubai, now B comes to A's position. Now what has happened is A need to transfer two things. One is authority. Now authority flows from top to bottom. What flows from top to bottom? Authority will flow from top to bottom. Now what is that B should do is, B is right now responsible. He is what? Responsible. And responsibility. Now responsibility flow from what? Bottom to top. That is how responsibility flows. After 15 days, definitely A will return to the office. Now when A returns to the office after 15, now B comes to the same position and A retains his position back. But B should have the entire accountability and he should give the accounting thing to A. That is what all has happened in these 15 days. So that is called accountability. So the first one is authority, which flows from top to bottom. Responsibility goes from bottom to top. And after 15 days, when A returns from Dubai to India, now B has all accountability of reporting what all happened in the absence of A. These are called the elements of delegation. Now we'll go one by one. What is authority? In the context of a business organization, authority can be defined as the power. So what is it? It's a power. Plus authority is always like power with the rights. That is power and right of a person to use and allocate the resources. Why they actually go with it? To use and allocate the resources efficiently, to take decisions and to give orders so as to achieve organizational objective. Now here when A goes to Dubai and he gives a delegation to B, now A should give or he should transfer his authority to B, or else B will not get any position. Though the position is there, nobody will work under B because he don't have authority. So that's why delegation is all about transferring authority as well as responsibility. Now authority means well defined, and it's what? It is like must be well defined. All people have to get that authority because they should know what is the scope of their authority and they shouldn't misutilize it. Sometimes when you give a small authority, people will misuse it. So one person should always know that what is that authority he has, what is the maximum power he can actually go with, or what is the minimum criteria of the power he can utilize. So when you give more authority, I'll tell you what happens is, meanwhile you are supposed to give responsibility also. If you don't give responsibility, the person who has only authority, he'll act like a monopoly kind of a person, or a person who is a dictator or autocratic kind of a person. That's why Henry Fayol also says that give a person authority, but with the authority you give that person the responsibility as well. Now authority is the right to give command. It is the right to give command, then orders, and get the things done. See, that is what management does, getting things done through others efficiently and effectively. Through delegation, what happens is you get authority. Through authority, you can get the work done. The top level management has greatest authority. Whenever we go with any of the forms of business, the top level people will have more authority over any other levels or departments. So this is what authority is. The next one is responsibility. Now what exactly this responsibility is? After getting to know what authority is, you are supposed to know responsibility, because here the subordinate act like a person who is responsible for all the things and he reports to the top management. Now responsibility is the duty of a person to complete the task. It's a duty to complete what? Complete the task assigned to him. A person who is given the responsibility should ensure that he accomplishes the task assigned to him. Responsibility without adequate authority leads to discontent and dissatisfaction among the person. Responsibility flow from bottom to top. When I went with this example, say we have A here and we have B here. Now B should always have responsibility over the superior. So who is the superior of B? A is the superior. That's why responsibility flows from bottom to top. It goes from bottom to top. The middle level and the lower level management holds more responsibility. Now here in authority, the top level will hold more authority, the greatest authority level in the entire levels of management. When it comes to the responsibility, the middle level and the supervisory level will have more responsibility. The person held responsible for the job is answerable for it. Supposingly, I have given you a task to do it. Now you are abided by the way I have actually assigned you the task. Now you are responsible for the task which you are supposed to do it. So responsibility flows from bottom to top. Last one we are supposed to understand is accountability. What is this accountability? Please understand this. Accountability means giving explanation for any variances. If there is any kind of variances which has happened, you are supposed to actually give explanation about it in the actual performance from the expectation set. When you go with it, now I gave you an example of A and B. Now the minute A comes after 15 days, B should be accountable for all the things whichever has happened, that is variance. Accountability cannot be delegated. That means accountability cannot be transferred. The word delegated itself means what? Transfer. Now here only B should actually go for accountability to A. That is whatever happened, who should actually report? That is B should report. Now C cannot report to A because delegation did not happen through C. The top level management is most accountable. Being accountable means being innovative, as the person will think beyond his scope of job. The last one here is accountability in short means being answerable for the end result. Now what is the end result? That is the objective. Whether you have accomplished the objective or you have not accomplished the objective, who is accountable? The person whom you have given the responsibility. So these are the meaning of authority, responsibility and accountability. Now we will go with the differences between authority and responsibility. So understand here students, the delegation elements are three, but whenever we talk about authority and responsibility, somewhere we don't talk anything about accountability, but accountability is the major, will play the major role in the authority as well as responsibility. The first one is, it is a legal right. That is what? It's a legal right of a person or superior to command his subordinate. So it is like formally it is there. Authority is attached to the position of the superior. It is attached to the superior. The minute you become a superior to anybody, you will have authority over your subordinate. Authority can be delegated by the superior to a subordinate. So who will delegate it? That is, the superior can give delegations to the subordinate. Meanwhile here, if you understand, responsibility is all about what? It is the obligation. It is what? It is the obligation of subordinate to perform the work assigned to him. Now who will assign this? That will be assigned by the superior. Responsibility arises out of superior subordinate relationship in which subordinate agrees to carry out duty given to him. Now superior will give a task to the subordinate is responsible to finish the task because now authority is what? It is a legal right to a person or a superior to command his subordinate. That's the reason. And last one here you need to understand is what? It flows from top to bottom. Authority flows from what? Top to bottom. That is what authority is here. Next, when we understand responsibility, responsibility cannot be shifted and is absolute. Now, a person who is responsible, he cannot delegate his responsibility to somebody else. Meanwhile, here also you need to understand, when it comes to accountability also, nobody can delegate accountability to somebody else. The last one here is, it flows from bottom to top. That is, responsibility flow from bottom to top. Responsibility, right? So these are the things which you are supposed to know. If you have any doubt regarding the delegation, please do call us. We are always there to help you students, and Vidhyaashram is the only college which is doing everything for the students for free. And what I really want is, please go back to all the sessions of planning and learn what exactly the topics are. If you have any doubt, you can actually comment. We are always there to help you. Thank you so much. I'll see you when I see you.